Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another Sword of CONVALLARIA video, and today we are going to do a pity system guide for Sword of CONVALLARIA. Now, this game's pity works different than other gacha games I've played. There is a universal pity system that runs through most banners in this game, and oftentimes layered on top of that is an individual pity for different banners. So we're going to go banner to banner, break down how every banner in this game works, and we're going to start with a very special one, the first summon banner. Now, at the time of recording, this game is less than 12 hours from coming out. I'm going to say a couple things about this first summon banner. One is that the rates on it are very much the same as the rates you're going to encounter for every other banner. You got your 2% legendary probability, your 20% epic, and so on down the list. However, this banner operates under a completely different set of pity rules than all the rest of the banners, and it does not apply to the universal legendary pity. How this banner works is within your first 30 summons, and you can only do 10 pulls on this banner, you are guaranteed a legendary. As soon as you hit one, the banner goes away forever. I recommend that every player in the game do this. Now, if you're re-rolling or something like that and you want to do like Gloria's banner first or whatever the debut character is, go for it. But every player who has an opportunity to finish the first summon banner ought to. Okay, now let's move to the pity systems that you're going to encounter throughout the rest of your time playing this game, and I want to start with the Fateful Summon. Now, Fateful Summon will introduce us to the legendary universal pity. Here's how this works. When you are pulling on any character's banner in this game, whether it's a debut banner, a Destined Banner, the standard banner, within 100 pulls, you are guaranteed to get a legendary, and the countdown applies across the board. So if you do 2 pulls on the debut banner, like I did on the accounts that the screenshot that you're seeing is from, it took my pity count to 80 on the standard banner. If I did 2 more pulls here, it would take my universal counter to 60 no matter what other banner I'm pulling on. So that's the only pity rule for the standard banner, which is most of the time not the banner people are going to be pulling on, right? Like most people are going to be spending their currency going for a new character or maybe a targeted banner like the Destined Banners. But the Fateful Summon does give us a good introduction to the legendary universal pity, and it applies to the Destined Banners, the debut banners, and the standard banner. Now, next, let's talk about the debut banners, because these work a little bit different. On the debut banners, there's going to be a featured character. For launch, it's Gloria. Our next one will probably be like Ida or something like that, but for launch, it's Gloria. Any legendary you pull on this banner has a 50% chance of being Gloria. It is not a 50-50 like a Hoyoverse game 50-50, where if you lose the 50-50 once, you're guaranteed to get the featured character next time. That's not how this works. This works like anytime you pull a legendary, you got a 50% chance of it being the right one. In theory, you could lose that 50-50 forever from what I've read, but that's it. It's a coin flip for the featured character. The rates are the same, and the universal legendary pity applies. However, there is a special pity on the debut banners of 180 pulls guaranteeing you the featured rate up character. So let's go over that again. Your universal legendary pity applies, so every 100 pulls you do, you will hit a legendary. Your legendary has a 50% chance of being the featured character on the rate up banner, and after 180 pulls on a featured rate up banner, you are guaranteed the featured character. The featured rate up pity, that 180, carries over from one debut banner to the next. So let's say Ida's banner is the next one. Let's just say that's true. I'm not 100% sure on that, but if Ida comes next, if you do 100 pulls for Gloria and you don't get her, you will only have 80 pulls left to guarantee yourself Ida. That's how that one works. So some of these rules are very similar to rules I've seen in other gacha games. Some of these rules with like that universal pity, very different than other games. So that's the debut banner. That's how that works. Next, we have Destined Banners. Now, our first Destined Banner we're going to see in this game is Beryl and Cole. So Beryl and Cole are both featured on this banner, and once again, your legendary pity applies, your universal legendary pity. So if you had done 90 pulls somewhere else and had yet to hit a legendary character, you would, in your next 10 pull, you would be guaranteed to hit a legendary on this Destined Banner. Now, every legendary you have has a 75% chance of either being Beryl or Cole. You don't get to pick which one of them, but 75% of the time, a legendary character will be one of the 2 featured characters. Those featured characters are from the standard pool, so they are old I mean, the game's just coming out today, but maybe for the sake of when you're watching this later, they are old characters that are in the standard pool and being refeatured with a higher rate of being able to get them. So 75% chance to get them. This banner also has its very own 180 pity that applies specifically to the Destined banners. So if you were pulling for Barrel and Cole, and you did 150 pulls and you lost your 75-25 and got a, you know, a Feycal or something like that, the next Destined banner, your 180 pity, however far you got, would carry over. And the next time you pulled, well, you would, if you got to that 180, you'd guarantee yourself one of those two characters. I hope that makes sense. Those are the three types of character banners that we're going to see in the game, and that's how the pity system applies to all of them. It's not overly complicated. It's a pretty short and sweet thing. Now, there is another banner, the Mighty Weapons banner. This is a banner that I would probably say people stay away from. There's other ways to get good weapons in this game than pulling for them, and I think this will be a place where mostly only whales go. However, it is a 5% legendary chance on this banner, so it is a boosted rate over the character banners. The pity system works like this. There's not one. You just have a 5% chance to get legendary gear when you pull on this banner, a 50% chance to get epic gear, which honestly, 50-50 chance at epic gear is really not that bad. But like I said, there's no pity here. You're not guaranteed to get a legendary weapon after so many pulls. Just you have a 5% chance to get legendary gear, and you have the opportunity to summon any released gear, cornucopia weapons excluded, in the standard summon. So I would, let me break it down for you real quick. Give you my TLDR. Here's what I would say. If you're re-rolling, don't re-roll on the first summon banner. Re-roll on the debut character banner or the Destined banner, going for a specific one of those characters that you want. After you have that, your next step should be make sure you take care of your first summon banner. After that, you can basically pull at will, knowing that your legendary character pity, the universal one, carries over from banner to banner, and that your debut banner special pity, that 180, will carry over to the next debut character if you don't get this one, and your Destined banner 180 pity will carry over to the next Destined banner if you don't get, you know, Barrel or Cole on there at launch. Okay, I hope that makes it clearer for you guys. I put lots of screenshots on the screen, so I hope those helped as I talked through them. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I know I am very excited for the game to come out today. My Discord community is growing nicely, so if you want to join my Discord community and talk about Sword of CONVALLARIA stuff, there's a Discord link in the chat. I will, once I get a guild set up, I will have a sign-up sheet in my Discord. I will only be taking people into my guild who are active in my Discord. That way we can communicate with each other easily. It seems to make sense to me. So hit that up if you want to join and have fun playing, guys. The game comes out in exactly, what, like 9 hours from when I'm making this video. So I'm very, very excited. Can't wait to get in there. I'll see y'all in game. Peace.